Big show tonight. So many people on to speak about this issue. But now let's bring in Shadow Foreign Affairs Minister Michaelia Cash. Michaelia, thank you for coming on again. Was the Albanese government reckless and even negligent in failing to list the IRGC as a terrorist organisation earlier?
Well, let's be very clear, Shari. State-sponsored terror via the Islamic Republic of Iran has now come to Australia. And it was all well and good for Mr Albanese to go out there today and announce that his government was going to list the Revolutionary Guard as a terrorist organisation. But he also should have apologised to Australians for not heeding the opposition's calls over 2.5 years ago when we told him this should be done. Where was Mr Albanese being upfront with the Australian people today and saying to them 2.5 years ago when the opposition told me I needed to list this organisation as a terrorist organisation, my government said no. Here's the proof. Recommendation from the committee report. Government, we will not be adopting, and then worse. This is a letter from Penny Wong, Mark Dreyfus and Claire O'Neill, June 2024, explaining in weasel words why the Albanese government would refuse to work with the opposition to list the Revolutionary Guard as a terrorist organisation. And now where are we today? State-sponsored terror on Australian soil. Let's be clear. People could have died, Shari. This is a regime that does not share our values. They fund Hezbollah and Hamas. And Wake Up Australia, they could have killed Australians.
Exactly. Your message, you are so right. That is such a strong message. We also heard the ASIO boss, Mike Burgess, very clear. He says that Iran could be behind other anti-Semitic attacks as well. They're still investigating. How concerned are you about the extent of this foreign influence that's clearly undermining social cohesion?
Well, I'm incredibly concerned, and in particular given that 2.5 years ago, the Senator Claire Chandler report, as I have shown you, clearly made a recommendation to the government. But I also want to read out for your viewers, because it's about time Australians understood who these people are. This is what the Iranian Revolutionary Guard are, Shari. Their goal is to protect Iran's Islamic Revolution and its achievements, and relentlessly struggle to realise the divine ideals and, get this, spread the law of God in accordance with the Islamic Republic of Iran's laws. Mr Albanese, Senator Claire Chandler 2.5 years ago recommended on behalf of the opposition, based on evidence directly taken from the diaspora here in Australia who fled this oppressive regime, that they are terrorists, that this organisation needed to be listed as a terrorist organisation. It is in black and white. Your government said no. You need to be very clear to the Australian people now why your government 2.5 years ago refused to heed the calls from the opposition and do what was needed at the time. And now, state-sponsored terror on Australian soil and the summer of anti-Semitism, we now know, Shari, that Jewish Australians were under attack from the Islamic Republic of Iran. I don't know how much worse it can get for Jewish Australians.
Oh, terrifying. And what makes it even worse is that we had our Sky News Anti-Semitism Summit in February. The federal government didn't want to know about our recommendations. Then Gillian Siegel's report a couple of months ago, again, it's all on ice, you know, and yet the Prime Minister stands up today claiming to care about this issue. I mean, he's done nothing.
Can I just say on that, Shari, the Prime Minister loves a good round table. He's had a 3-day talk fest, and all he got out of that one was higher taxes. But if the Prime Minister was dinkum, he'd pick up the phone to you tomorrow and to other leading Jewish Australians and say, get into Parliament House, Canberra. I've got the Sky report, I've got the Segala report, and we're going to work out how we can start to implement it tomorrow. I don't know how much worse it can get. State-sponsored terror via a country, and as Julie and Lisa said, they do not share Australian values. Hezbollah, Hamas, dedicated to the eradication of Israel. Hezbollah, also dedicated to the eradication of the US. Guess what? The US and Israel share our values. Again,
exactly.
Wake up, Mr Albanese, and wake up, Australia.
No, exactly.